Imagine this, a bustling city street, the smell of freshly brewed coffee wafting from nearby cafes, and the chatter of hurried passers-by filling the air. Amid this urban symphony, a young boy stands alone, his clothes worn, his sneakers scuffed, and his eyes brimming with a quiet determination that belies his years. This is Jason, a 12-year-old orphan navigating a world that seems to have forgotten him. But one extraordinary act of courage is about to change everything. In the blink of an eye, Jason's life will transform from a daily fight for survival into an inspiring tale of resilience, kindness, and hope. What begins as an ordinary day takes an extraordinary turn when Jason saves a stranger in need, proving that even the smallest act of bravery can create ripples that reach far beyond our imagination. This story isn't just about Jason's journey, it's about the power of kindness, the strength of the human spirit, and the way one selfless act can touch countless lives. As we delve deeper, you'll discover a narrative that combines heart-pounding drama, touching moments of connection, and valuable lessons for us all. And before we continue, if this story moves you as much as it did us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our community for more inspiring content. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. Picture a cold, gray morning in the heart of the city. The towering skyscrapers, with their endless rows of glass windows, reflect the overcast sky. A light drizzle falls, painting the streets with a glistening sheen. People hurry along the sidewalks, umbrellas bobbing up and down like colorful dots in the sea of muted tones. The hum of engines, the sharp honk of car horns, and the muffled sounds of distant conversations create the familiar soundtrack of a city that never truly rests. Amid this urban chaos, a boy walks alone. Jason, dressed in an oversized hoodie and a pair of jeans with frayed hems, blends into the background. His backpack, tattered and patched in places, bounces against his back as he weaves through the crowd. To the casual observer, he's just another kid heading somewhere, perhaps to school, perhaps home, but Jason has neither. At 12 years old, he has already learned the harsh realities of the world. His parents are gone, and the system meant to protect him has failed. He now calls the streets his home. Jason's days begin early and end late. Each morning, he ventures out to scavenge for food, earning small coins by running errands for shopkeepers or helping strangers carry their groceries. It's not much, but it's enough to get by. His sharp wit and resourcefulness have made him a survivor, though his heart, kind and unyielding, remains untouched by the bitterness that could easily consume him. On this particular morning, Jason's path takes him to a busy intersection. The pedestrian light blinks red, but a distracted businessman, engrossed in his phone, steps onto the crosswalk. Time seems to slow as a speeding car, tires screeching against the wet pavement, barrels toward the man. The crowd gasps, frozen in place, and then, without hesitation, Jason moves. In a flash, Jason darts into the street. His small frame slams into the man, pushing him out of harm's way. The car misses them by mere inches, its horn blaring angrily as it speeds past. The businessman stumbles to the ground, his phone clattering onto the asphalt, and looks up at Jason in shock. The boy's chest heaves with adrenaline, his eyes wide but resolute. Around them, the crowd erupts into a mix of applause and murmurs of astonishment. The man, now realizing what has just happened, scrambles to his feet. His suit is damp and his briefcase lies open, its contents scattered. "You saved my life," he says, his voice shaky with gratitude. Jason shrugs, brushing off the thanks with a quiet humility that surprises everyone. He gathers the man's papers, hands them back, and turns to leave, blending once again into the crowd. But Jason's act of bravery doesn't go unnoticed. Among the onlookers is an elderly woman who records the entire incident on her smartphone. Within hours, the video finds its way onto social media, where it spreads like wildfire. Jason, the boy with nothing to his name, becomes an unexpected hero. The comments flood in. Who is this kid? What a brave soul. We need more people like him in the world. As the video garners millions of views, the city begins to rally behind Jason. Strangers reach out, offering food, shelter, and support. Local news outlets pick up the story, and soon, Jason's face is on every screen, his name on everyone's lips. Yet, amidst all the attention, Jason remains grounded. When asked why he risked his life for a stranger, his answer is simple: it was the right thing to do. The scene shifts as we follow Jason back to his world, a makeshift shelter beneath an overpass, cobbled together with cardboard and old blankets. Here, the reality of his life stands in stark contrast to the online persona that the world is falling in love with. Jason's resilience shines through as he navigates this newfound spotlight, balancing the kindness of strangers with the challenges of survival. The setting is more than just a backdrop. It's a mirror reflecting the stark inequalities of modern society. In the bustling city, where wealth and poverty coexist in uneasy proximity, Jason's story highlights the humanity that often gets lost in the shuffle. His courage becomes a catalyst, inspiring others to look beyond their screens and their routines to see the invisible struggles around them. As we delve deeper into Jason's journey, we'll uncover not only the trials he faces, but also the extraordinary community that forms around him, proving that even in the darkest corners, light can be found when people come together. His story reminds us that heroes can come from the most unexpected places, and sometimes, all it takes to change the world is one selfless act. In every age, stories of extraordinary courage have captivated humanity, serving as timeless reminders of the strength and resilience embedded within us. Jason's heroic act is no exception. His story begins on an ordinary day that quickly spiraled into one of the most harrowing moments the community had ever faced. It was a brisk autumn morning, the kind that carried a sense of renewal. Jason, a local teacher and father of two, was on his way to work when he heard a distant commotion coming from the community's Central Park. What he initially dismissed as routine city noise soon transformed into desperate cries for help. Without hesitation, he veered off his usual path, driven by an inexplicable pull to investigate. Arriving at the park, Jason encountered a scene that could only be described as chaotic. A nearby apartment building was engulfed in flames, black smoke billowing into the sky. Onlookers stood paralyzed, their fear evident in their frozen expressions. Among the crowd, a distraught mother screamed, pointing frantically toward a window where a child's silhouette was faintly visible. In moments like these, some people freeze, while others spring into action. Jason belonged to the latter group. Without waiting for emergency responders, who were still en route, he sprang into motion, using his years of physical training and innate resourcefulness. Jason quickly assessed the situation. The fire was spreading rapidly, and time was running out. Scaling the building with nothing but his bare hands and sheer determination, Jason reached the second-floor window where the child was trapped. Flames licked the walls as he broke through the glass, ignoring the cuts forming on his arms and hands. His only focus was the terrified child, whose cries for help had diminished into soft sobs. "It's okay," Jason reassured the child, his voice calm despite the inferno raging around them. "I'm here to get you out," carefully wrapping the child in his jacket to shield them from the heat and smoke. He began the precarious descent. The crowd below watched in awe, their fear momentarily replaced by hope. Jason's every move was deliberate, his determination unwavering. As he reached the ground, cheers erupted from the onlookers. But Jason was far from done. He handed the child to paramedics who had just arrived and turned back toward the building. Unbeknownst to him, an elderly couple remained trapped on the third floor. Their frantic waving from a balcony caught Jason's attention. And once again, he acted without hesitation. This time, the stakes were higher. The structure's stability was deteriorating, and debris rained down as the fire consumed more of the building. Jason's second ascent was nothing short of miraculous. Battling exhaustion and the growing intensity of the flames, he navigated his way to the elderly couple. Their gratitude was palpable as he guided them to safety, shielding them from falling debris and navigating the perilous descent with the same care he had shown the child. When the trio reached the ground, the building's structure began to collapse. The crowd's cheers turned to gasps as the once standing apartment crumbled into a smoldering heap. Jason, now covered in soot and nursing minor injuries, stood silently, his eyes scanning the crowd for signs of relief and gratitude rather than basking in his accomplishment. "He's a hero," someone whispered, and the sentiment spread like wildfire. News of Jason's bravery quickly went viral, and he became a local legend overnight. But for Jason, it wasn't about recognition or accolades. When asked about his actions, he humbly replied, "I just did what anyone should do." In that moment, it wasn't about being a hero. It was about doing what was right. Jason's heroic act did more than save 3 lives that day. It reignited a sense of community and inspired countless others to act selflessly in the face of adversity. His story serves as a testament to the power of courage, reminding us all that, even in the darkest moments, there are individuals who shine as beacons of hope and humanity. But Jason's journey didn't end there. The aftermath of the event revealed deeper layers of his character and impact. As media outlets clamored for interviews and organizations reached out with awards and accolades, Jason used his newfound platform to advocate for fire safety and community preparedness. He organized workshops in schools and community centers, teaching children and adults alike the importance of fire drills, emergency plans, and first aid. His efforts didn't stop at education. Jason also lobbied local government officials to improve building safety regulations, ensuring that tragedies like the one he witnessed could be prevented in the future. The community rallied behind Jason's initiatives, funding programs and resources that empowered residents to take proactive steps in safeguarding their homes and neighborhoods. The park where the fateful day unfolded was renamed in his honor, serving as a permanent reminder of the courage and humanity he exemplified. Jason's story is a powerful illustration of how ordinary people can rise to extraordinary heights in the face of adversity. It's a reminder that heroism isn't about seeking recognition or fame, but about answering the call to act when it matters most. In a world often overshadowed by division and uncertainty, Jason's heroic act stands as a beacon of hope, proving that the best of humanity can shine through even in the most challenging circumstances. Miranda's life had always been an intricate tapestry of struggles and triumphs, a mosaic that reflected her resilience. Yet, the pivotal transformation that defined her was not born out of convenience or comfort. It was forged in the crucible of adversity. To understand Miranda's transformation, one must first delve into the depths of her challenges and the extraordinary journey that led her to emerge as an inspiring force of change. The weight of the past. Miranda grew up in a small, close-knit community where expectations often suffocated individuality. As the eldest child in a family of modest means, she bore the weight of responsibilities that often eclipsed her personal aspirations. Her father, a factory worker, and her mother, a homemaker, instilled in her the values of hard work and sacrifice. But these values often came with an unspoken burden. Miranda's dreams were secondary to the immediate needs of her family. Throughout her youth, Miranda excelled academically. She was a voracious reader, devouring books that transported her beyond the confines of her small town. Despite her intellectual curiosity, societal norms dictated that her ambitions be tempered by practicality. Higher education was a distant dream, one her family couldn't afford. Instead, Miranda took on a series of jobs to support her siblings' education, shelving her own dreams for the greater good. A catalyst for change. It was during one of these jobs, as an assistant in a local library, that Miranda encountered a mentor who would change the trajectory of her life. Mrs. Carter, the head librarian, recognized Miranda's potential and encouraged her to apply for scholarships. Under Mrs. Carter's guidance, Miranda applied to numerous programs, often staying late into the night to perfect her essays and applications. When she received a full scholarship to a prestigious university, it marked the first major turning point in her journey. University life was a revelation for Miranda. For the first time, she was surrounded by individuals who challenged her worldview and expanded her horizons. She majored in environmental science, a field that ignited her passion for sustainable development. However, the transition was far from seamless. Miranda struggled with imposter syndrome, often questioning whether she truly belonged among her accomplished peers. It was only through perseverance and the support of a tight-knit group of friends that she began to find her footing. The defining moment. Miranda's transformation reached its zenith during her final year of university. As part of her thesis, she traveled to a remote village that was grappling with the devastating effects of deforestation. What she witnessed there was both heart-wrenching and galvanizing. The villagers, whose livelihoods depended on the land, were caught in a vicious cycle of poverty and environmental degradation. Children played amidst barren fields, their laughter a poignant contrast to the stark reality of their circumstances. Determined to make a difference, Miranda spearheaded a community-led reforestation initiative. She worked alongside the villagers, planting trees, educating them about sustainable farming practices, and securing funding from environmental NGOs. The project was not without its challenges. Miranda faced resistance from local authorities who were skeptical of her intentions, as well as logistical hurdles that tested her resolve. But she persevered, driven by an unshakable belief in the power of collective action. A ripple effect. The success of the reforestation project was nothing short of transformative. Within a year, the once barren land began to show signs of renewal. The villagers, inspired by Miranda's dedication, took ownership of the project, ensuring its long-term sustainability. For Miranda, the experience was a revelation. She realized that her true calling lay in empowering communities to create their own pathways to resilience and prosperity. Returning to university, Miranda presented her findings at a prestigious environmental conference, earning accolades for her innovative approach. The experience cemented her reputation as a rising star in the field of environmental science and advocacy. A lifelong commitment. Miranda's transformation was not confined to a single moment or achievement. It was an ongoing journey. After graduating, she founded an organization dedicated to community-led environmental initiatives. Her work took her to some of the most impoverished regions in the world, where she continued to apply the lessons she had learned during her time in the village. Each project was a testament to her unwavering belief in the power of grassroots action. Over time, Miranda became a prominent voice in global environmental advocacy. She delivered keynote speeches, published research papers, and advised policymakers on sustainable development. Yet, despite her accolades, she remained deeply connected to the communities she served, often returning to the village where her journey had begun. The essence of transformation. Miranda's transformation was not merely about personal success. It was about transcending the limitations imposed by her circumstances to create a ripple effect of change. Her journey exemplifies the transformative power of resilience, empathy, and vision. By channeling her struggles into a force for good, Miranda not only redefined her own life, but also inspired countless others to do the same. Today, Miranda's story stands as a beacon of hope and a testament to the enduring impact of one individual's determination to make a difference. Her transformation reminds us that true change begins within, but its impact can reverberate far beyond. Miranda's journey is not merely a personal tale of transformation. It resonates far beyond the boundaries of her individual experience. Her story sheds light on critical societal dynamics, emphasizing the importance of perseverance, advocacy, and the collective responsibility to create inclusive environments. In this section, we delve into the broader implications of Miranda's transformation, exploring how her journey informs issues of systemic inequality, community support, and the role of individual agency in driving change. Systemic inequality and structural barriers. Miranda's early struggles highlight the pervasive challenges posed by systemic inequality, from educational disparities to workplace discrimination. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the structural barriers that hinder many individuals from reaching their full potential. These barriers are not isolated incidents, but rather manifestations of deeply ingrained societal biases. By examining Miranda's experiences, we gain a clearer understanding of how institutional policies and cultural attitudes can perpetuate cycles of exclusion. For instance, her difficulties in securing meaningful mentorship and career advancement reflect a broader trend of underrepresentation for marginalized groups in leadership roles. Studies show that diverse teams perform better, Yet systemic biases often prevent talented individuals from diverse backgrounds from ascending to positions of influence. Miranda's eventual success underscores the urgent need for organizations to implement equitable hiring practices, mentorship programs, and anti-discrimination policies. The role of community support. A pivotal aspect of Miranda's transformation was the support she received from her community. This element underscores the profound impact of solidarity and allyship in overcoming adversity. Community support can take many forms, from mentorship and networking opportunities to grassroots movements that amplify marginalized voices. In Miranda's case, the encouragement of her peers and the guidance of a mentor who believed in her potential were instrumental in her success. This demonstrates the importance of fostering supportive networks, particularly for individuals who may feel isolated or overlooked. Community-based initiatives, such as mentorship programs for underrepresented groups and advocacy organizations, play a crucial role in leveling the playing field. Moreover, Miranda's story illustrates how allies can use their privilege to create opportunities for others. The mentor who championed her career did not simply provide advice, but actively worked to dismantle the barriers she faced. This form of proactive allyship is a powerful tool for creating lasting change. The power of individual agency. While systemic factors and community support were significant, Miranda's personal agency was equally crucial in her transformation. Her resilience, determination, and willingness to take risks allowed her to seize opportunities and redefine her path. This highlights the duality of systemic change. While external support is essential, individual effort and agency are indispensable. Miranda's story challenges the narrative that individuals are solely products of their circumstances. It demonstrates that, even in the face of overwhelming odds, personal agency can drive meaningful change. However, it is important to note that individual agency should not be romanticized as a substitute for systemic reform. Miranda's success, while inspiring, should not absolve institutions of their responsibility to address structural inequities. Implications for policy and practice. Miranda's journey offers valuable lessons for policymakers, educators, and organizational leaders. Her transformation underscores the need for comprehensive strategies to address systemic inequality and promote inclusivity. Key takeaways include equitable access to education. Ensuring that individuals from all backgrounds have access to quality education is a foundational step in addressing inequality. Scholarships, mentorship programs, and initiatives that target underrepresented groups can help bridge the gap. Workplace inclusivity. Organizations must prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives. This includes implementing transparent hiring practices, providing bias training for employees, and creating pathways for underrepresented individuals to advance in their careers. Legislative reforms. Governments have a role to play in enacting policies that promote equality, anti-discrimination laws, equal pay legislation, and funding for community programs are critical components of systemic change. Empowering grassroots movements. Community-based organizations are often at the forefront of advocacy efforts. Supporting these groups through funding and partnerships can amplify their impact. A ripple effect. Miranda's transformation is not an isolated success story, but a catalyst for broader change. Her achievements inspire others to challenge the status quo and strive for their own aspirations. Moreover, her journey serves as a blueprint for how communities and institutions can work together to dismantle systemic barriers. Her story also highlights the interconnectedness of individual and collective action. By sharing her experiences and advocating for change, Miranda has become a role model and an agent of transformation. Her influence extends beyond her immediate circle, creating a ripple effect that empowers others to pursue their goals and advocate for a more equitable society. Conclusion: building a more inclusive future. The broader implications of Miranda's transformation are clear. Systemic change requires a multifaceted approach that combines individual agency, community support, and institutional reform. Her journey reminds us that progress is not only possible but achievable when we work collectively to address inequality. As we reflect on her story, we are reminded of the power of resilience, the importance of allyship, and the potential for transformative change. Miranda's experiences challenge us to consider our own roles in creating a more inclusive and equitable world. Whether through advocacy, mentorship, or policy reform, each of us has the capacity to contribute to a future where stories like Miranda's are not exceptions but the norm. As we reflect on the stories of Jason and Miranda, their resilience, and the broader implications of their actions, it becomes clear that the fight for dignity, equality, and justice is far from over. Their journeys remind us that change begins with courageous individuals but requires collective effort to sustain. A call to recognize everyday heroes. Jason's heroic act and Miranda's transformation are testaments to the power of individuals to challenge systems and inspire others. Jason's bravery in defending what is right transcended personal risk, embodying the kind of courage that history remembers. Miranda's journey from bystander to advocate highlights the transformative potential within each of us to not only witness but actively contribute to change. These stories compel us to recognize the everyday heroes among us, those who take a stand, however small it may seem, against injustice. The ripple effect of advocacy. The impact of Jason's and Miranda's actions rippled far beyond their immediate surroundings. Their courage sparked conversations, empowered communities, and reminded others of their own potential to make a difference. This ripple effect is not unique to their stories. It is a universal truth about advocacy. When one person speaks up, it creates a chain reaction of awareness and action. This is why it's so important to amplify these narratives and share them widely, ensuring their lessons resonate with as many people as possible, building a more just future. To create lasting change, we must address systemic inequalities at their roots. Jason's story revealed the gaps in institutional accountability, and Miranda's journey underscored the importance of personal accountability. But these individual actions must be matched by collective efforts, policy changes, community initiatives, and educational reforms to dismantle the structures that perpetuate inequality. Your role in the movement. As viewers, you are not passive recipients of these narratives. You hold the power to enact change in your own communities. Start by identifying injustices around you and finding ways to address them. Whether it's supporting organizations that fight systemic inequality, volunteering your time, or simply sharing stories like Jason's and Miranda's to inspire others, every action counts. A call to engage. We've shared these stories not just to inform but to ignite action. Here's how you can contribute to the ongoing movement for justice and equality. Educate yourself and others. Seek out resources to understand the issues at hand. Share what you learn with your network to foster broader awareness. Support advocacy organizations. Consider donating to or volunteering with groups that are working to dismantle systemic barriers and provide support to marginalized communities. Be an active ally. Stand up for those who face discrimination, even when it's uncomfortable. Use your voice to amplify theirs. Vote and advocate for policy change. Engage in local and national elections. Supporting candidates and policies that align with the principles of justice and equity. Foster conversations. Create safe spaces for dialogue in your community. Encouraging open discussions about inequality, privilege, and actionable solutions. Stay connected. Finally, we encourage you to stay connected with this platform by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. You're helping to spread these vital stories to a wider audience. Consider joining our Patreon community to support the creation of more content like this, content that informs, inspires, and empowers. A vision for tomorrow. Jason's and Miranda's stories serve as powerful reminders of what's possible when courage meets conviction. As we close this chapter, let us carry their lessons forward. Together, we can build a world where justice prevails, dignity is upheld, and every individual has the opportunity to thrive. The time to act is now. What role will you play in shaping the future?